Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with the beginning of another trading week. And if you were watching the markets today, it was a rough day in the market. However, I'm going to prove to you how you can still make money even when the market is going down with a little bit of skill and a whole lot of luck, to be honest with you. I did sell my covered calls on AMD. So let's get right into the video. I'm going to talk about, like I said, the market overall. I'm going to talk about my covered calls that I opened on AMD, and I was thinking about manipulating or rolling out my options in terms of my 75 strike put on AMD that I opened up last week, and we'll go over then the technical analysis on AMD to round out the video. Let's get into it. So looking at the heat map here, a lot of red on the board, right? This is very spooky, just in time for Halloween, but let me draw your attention to the honey badger, okay? Because the entire market is red. The honey badger, Micron, is up 2%. Micron does not care. Micron absolutely does not care what the market is doing. I don't know. I feel like I need to get into some Micron to be a hedge against the rest of the stock market, because I just feel like if we start crashing again, Micron is going to go up like 300%. Because I don't know what Micron is doing. I don't know what the shareholders of Micron are doing, but they just do not care about the economy, what other tickers in the semiconductor sector are doing. They just don't care. But, you know, Micron's going to Micron. So I don't have any plays or trades open on Micron. I do have trades on AMD. So let's take a look at the Robinhood graph here. So this is the daily graph on AMD. You can see rough day. I mean, from just about 10 a.m. to market close, we just sold off continuously all day long. I mean, we closed the day down 1.4%. And after hours right now, we're pretty much flat. We're slowly trying to rally, but not much. I mean, we're up 0.4% after hours. The reason I am pretty happy actually with myself and why I said you need a little bit of luck is because pre-market, AMD was up. We were up almost 0.75% pre-market right at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time when the market opened. So I was looking pretty good. I thought, you know what? Let's let this play out a little bit. Let's let the share price go up until like 9:45, 10 a.m. And then that's when I'll sell my covered calls so I can get more premiums on them. But as you can see, when the market opened up, we immediately just sold off all the way to right where we closed Friday, basically for a wash within the first 5 minutes. That's 9:35 Eastern time. But then we started rallying again up until about 10 a.m. And I've noticed this pattern a lot recently with the market, where the first few minutes, the stock will just jump one way or the other. It'll go up really fast or down really fast, and then it will kind of go in the opposite direction. So I thought that would happen today, where we sold off. So I waited, and then I said, let me see if we're going to rally again in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. And that's exactly what happened. So at this point, right about 10 a.m., I decided to sell my covered calls because I didn't want to wait any longer. You know, I was thinking to myself, oh, like, what if we're going to rally for the rest of the day? I left money on the table. But I said, nope, I made a plan and I'm going to stick to it. So I sold my covered calls right at this point. And as you can see, it was a great thing that I did, because right after that, I mean, we just sold off all day long. So you're probably asking yourself, what did you sell? Let's go to the options chain here. So I sold covered calls. And if you saw my videos from this past weekend, I pretty much followed my plan. My goal was to sell covered calls for the following Friday, October 30th, not this week, because the premiums were so much more juicier for the following Friday, October 30th. So that's exactly what I did. And I chose that strike for a couple reasons, which I'll talk about when we get to the technical analysis section in the video at the end. But I sold 89 strike covered calls, and I sold 2 of them that expire October 30th. And I sold them for $2.50 each, meaning I'm collecting a max profit potentially of $250 per contract, okay? Look at what the 89 strike is trading at right now, 175. So that means I am already profitable by just about 30%. 250 of max profit minus, if I wanted to buy it back right now, but I'm not going to, of 175, I'm already up $75 per contract. I have 2 of them, so I'm already up $150 today. And I will be honest, towards the end of the day, I thought to myself, being up 30% in one day on basically a 2-week long contract, it's very good. Should I close this out and then sell more covered calls tomorrow? And the only way that would work out in my favor is if we have a green day tomorrow. If we have another red day, then I would end up selling covered calls that would be for less premium than if I just held what I currently have. So I said, you know what? I don't want to fiddle with this. I made a good trade. There was a little bit of luck involved. Let me ride this out to max profit if I can and just kind of reap my rewards. So that's where I am right now. I currently own 2 covered calls on AMD that expire October 30th. I sold them for $250 per contract each. They're already profitable by about 30%. And I also have a put that I sold last week that expires this Friday. And I sold that for the $75 strike price. That one is a little bit concerning because that one I sold for $26 in premium. As you can see, it's going for $27. So I'm actually a little bit negative on that put because we sold off today. So we'll have to wait and see. It's funny because for my covered calls, I want the stock price to go down so then I get more profit on the covered calls. But then for this one put, I need the stock price to go up so that I can get more profit on the put. The perfect scenario would be, in my case, for AMD just to trade flat somewhere between $75 and $89 until next Friday, October 30th. But I'm in a good position right now. I mean, worst case scenario, if AMD does drop, I'll get assigned shares at 75. It'll overall reduce my cost basis for the total shares I have. But I don't think that's going to happen. And that's because of the technical analysis that I've been doing. So let's take a look at that chart right now. So this is AMD. Again, this is the daily chart. So each candle represents 1 day of trading. You can see we've had 4 red days in AMD in a row now. This big red candle today is today. Now, I am a little bit concerned because if you saw my prior videos, the prior 2 trading days, we were kind of flirting with this area of trend at about $83, which also is the 23.6% Fibonacci level. And I kind of kept saying we're going to have to wait and see if AMD wants to trade up or down. Well, today it's kind of made a decision in that it wants to go down. And as you can see, the other area of support that I was identifying was this pink line, which is the 50-day moving average, which is just at about $82. And now, today, the 21-day moving average is kind of crossing over and is at that same level right now as well. And as you can see, this candle pretty much ended right at those moving averages. So right now, I think $82 is kind of a make or break zone right now because there's a lot of support with these 2 moving averages right at that level. I'm really hoping that tomorrow we have a green day and we bounce up. And then we're going to hit resistance, I think, again, around $83, $84. So I really want AMD to rally above, let's just say $83, $84 and stay above there. That's what I'm hoping for. My concern is if AMD continues to sell off to the downside, well then where are we going to go from there? Because you have this area of support that I identified at about $80, $81, and then the next one is about $78. I think I'm going to be okay with my 75 strike because 75 is right around here. And like I said before, we haven't traded there since about end of September. And we have 1, 2 areas of support to break through, plus this Fibonacci level. So I don't think we're going to do that in a week unless just the whole market sells off like it did today. I mean, AMD did end the day down 1.4%, so it wasn't a huge red day, but it was a red day nonetheless. But I am concerned right now. I think tomorrow is really going to determine what happens with AMD. Because like I was saying before, with this area of support, kind of deciding whether we're going to trade up or down, I think now the new deal breakers area of support is $82 if we're going to trend up or down now. I mean, if we trend down, then I'm just going to ride my covered calls to max profit, and I have the potential to collect $500 in max profit in 2 weeks, which is awesome. I mean, my contracts, I have $8,500 in collateral, or capital, I should say, tied up. If I can collect $250 off $8,500 in capital, that is a total return on my capital of 2.9% in 2 weeks. So that would average out to about 1.5% a week, which is very good. And if we do trend down, then that means I get to keep my shares and sell more covered calls 2 weeks from now. Now, if we do trend down and I get assigned shares on my cash good put, well, in theory, the silver lining is that now I can sell 3 contracts of covered calls, and I would have reduced my cost basis because I own 100 shares at 75, and then I own 200 shares at 85 per share each. So if I were to take an average, that means my overall cost basis per share, where I was assigned, not accounting for any of the premiums I've been collecting along the way, would be just shy of $82, which is not bad because considering where we're trading at right now, that would be right at the share price right now. Like I said, if we do trade in the low to mid 70s, it would be a smaller hole that I would have to dig out of. But I'm not worried. I don't think AMD is going to crash through all these levels of support within 4 trading days now by this coming Friday, October 23rd. So let me know how your day turned out. Hopefully it didn't turn out red like the whole market did, but I'm curious to see if anybody else played AMD. I will tell you the premiums on AMD for October 30th and the following Friday, the first week of November, are extremely juicy right now. I was telling the people on my Discord server that I wish I had more free capital left because I would have opened up more cash good puts and maybe even did a buy right where I buy 100 shares and then immediately sell a covered call off of that because the premiums right now are just too juicy to pass up in my opinion. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice. This is just what I like to do because AMD is one of my favorite tickers to trade. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you're not in our Discord server already, make sure you get in there. And as always, happy trading.